celebrate the 4th of July?
You are free a little bit.
Violence. It has a long history of symbols that's associated with defiance. The Ku Klux Klan, Jim Crow, and there are people that do not want that to die. They want to keep it alive. They want to pass it on to their children because they say that it represents Southern pride, and it does not represent Southern pride when it comes to the ethnic groups and the race groups in the South that lives in the South, still live in the South, and we call it home. We're here in the Bible Belt. So I think there's some time, it needs to be time for some reconciliation with what's going on right now today. So I believe that it's going to be a movement. Mississippi going to follow. I saw NASCAR made a stand about asking fans not to bring the flag into the races. So it's going to come down.
If you're going to take that flag down, you need to take down the United States flag. And that's going to make a lot of people mad. But he said under that flag, we've been hurt more or about the same as under the Confederate flag. He said with the civil rights movement, the women's movement, now the gay movement, all the above under our flag that we have now. And I'm an advocate for this country. I love our country. We have one of the greatest countries as well. But if we're going to start taking flags down, we need to redo all the flags and make it the flag for all people and not just for some people. So that's another conversation, but I give her kudos.
As we continue to progress in the 21st century, we have to allow time for us to get rid of these negative connotations so that we can progress and move together as a unit, as a nation, in accomplishing some of these tasks. And as it relates to the Confederate flag, I think that although individuals may see the good in it far as the Southern pride, but the overall arching connotation as it relates to the Confederate flag has always been negative, dealing with racism and bigotry.
They think they know the biblical traditions, but they really don't, because the Bible, once again, does not speak against homosexuality. Those scriptures are so complicated, and if you don't know how to exegete, do your homiletical research, interpret the right way, you will not understand those scriptures. You cannot read those scriptures for face value, because the Bible does not really condemn same gender loving relationships, marriages, or homosexuality. It does not. And stop using it blaming it on the Bible. You're biased.
You hold people in positions to make sure that things are done in a fair and a just manner. And this has been a long time coming, and there are still a lot of things and a lot of laws that they're trying to reassemble and put in place to continue the oppression of the LGBTQ community. And if you are a fair person, you sit back and you just watch. And it's dangerous when you see these laws being passed, because just like it can extend to us, it can extend also over into minorities, people of color again. For instance, what they did with the women as far as the abortion movement. To say all these extreme things they have to do to go through to have an abortion. So this is not just inclusive for the LGBTQ community when you have people that have their own agenda and want to continue to pass laws because it's personal.
I think it was Donald Trump, and he raised the question of Donald Trump and asked him as it relates to his stance on marriage equality. And he stated that he believed in traditional marriage. And the commentator came back and asked him, well, if you believe in traditional marriage, then those in the LGBT community wants to know, then why did you get married 3 times if he believes in traditional marriage? And a lot of people don't understand that. And like you said earlier, in reading the Bible, some of the stuff that we speak against is actually in the Bible. And individuals, when you read the Bible as it relates to that traditional sense, a lot of things in the Bible that we may deem unorthodox or against the rule book is in the Bible. Individuals had orgies in the Bible. Several individuals were allowed to marry within their families, had incest.
And so a lot of those things that we tend to go against and we argue the most, even as it relates to the traditional sense of marriage.
Radio station paying their salary.
Yes.
Because we listen, she run her, look, Tracy Bethel, Michael Adrian Davis.
Stop giving them all that credit now.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was mainly on those shows, and they kept it going for like 2 days. And I was just really, really disappointed. You know, some radio stations, you expect that. You expect it. But in this right here, I did not expect it. And the Facebook was just blowing up. Y'all would not believe what they doing, and a lot of people were hurt.
Well, you got to understand, you know, the same people that was rooting for Jesus were the same individuals that said crucify him.
Come on.
And so even in our walk today,
I forgot my bell.
even in our walk today, we have those that are standing side by side preaching this gospel that we all carry and that we share. And at the same token too, like Judas, they're hollering crucify.
Well, now I hate themselves talking about I don't believe in marriage, I don't believe in this and that, but you sleep with more women and more men than anybody I know. What is wrong with you with your bipolar self? If you don't believe in something, stop doing it. Hold on, I got you. If you don't believe in it, just stop doing it. That's it. You go around here posting stuff on Facebook, on Twitter, with your bipolar schizophrenia self, talking about what you hate, what you dislike, and you got on a woman dress or a man suit and you in the bed playing footsie and all the above. What is the problem? What is the problem?
To me, the Bible is more subjective than objective. And the reason I say it's more subjective is because we go by the experiences in which we can relate to the Bible. We can relate to those stories. And I think that in order for us to be liberated, and we know that Christ came to redeem us and to liberate us. That's why if you hear some people say we no longer go by the Old Testament, we live by the New Testament. Here Jesus has come and he is the authority. He is the authority now given in the Bible. If Jesus has come to free us, then why are we not walking in our liberation?
The strongest, not strongest, but the most effective weapon the oppressor has is the oppressed mind. And these people have gotten into their minds and messed their minds completely up because it took time for us to be transformed, to be enlightened. Because society, our families, the church, people we sleep with, those spirits, they come into your mind and they influence you to think less of yourself. In the words of Brother Malcolm, who taught you to hate yourself? Somebody did. You just didn't wake up hating yourself. Somebody contributed to you.
We're about 15 years actually behind some of the other nations in this world. And Maryland, well actually it was the state of, not Maryland, the state of Maryland. Yeah, 2004. Proved everybody wrong when they said that the world was going to end and all these things were going to happen when they were the first one to improve marriage equality. I believe it was Maryland. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But this is nothing new. Nothing new. And Memphis, Tennessee is just seem to be unraveling and the people are unsure about their sexuality. They're being bashed and beat up with the Bible once again. And everybody wanted to do it under the disguise of being Christians. Well, today we came to set the record straight and to help some of those of you that claim you stand in favor of traditional marriage and all of those things. And we want to tell you exactly what your Bible says. So you need to get your Bible because we're about to bring the pain in a few minutes. So don't call our radio show. We didn't write the book. It's in the book.
You can call.
So if you want to use the Bible to say what you believe in, we're going to help you believe in what you think you believe in.
A bride had to prove her virginity. If she couldn't prove her virginity, she was stoned to death during that time. Then also during that time...
So you mean tell me these thoughts supposed to be killed?
Ooh. Yes. Oh. Also, we had concubines during that time. Abraham had 2 concubines. Solomon had 300 concubines. And a concubine is the woman on the side, and the wife knew about the woman, the mistress. So that was traditional marriage. Traditional marriage. Then also you had man, he was acquiring his slaves during marriage. So man had property plus his wife. That was traditional marriage. Then you also had polygamy. You had people who were married. Esau was married 3 times. Jacob was married 2 times. You had Gideon had many wives. David had many wives. So and then you had the man marrying the brother's widow. And if the widow, if she didn't bear a son, she was required to marry her brother-in-law and submit to him sexually and have a son. Then you had the rapist over in Deuteronomy. If a man raped a woman, the virgin who was raped, she had to be a virgin, and remember now, the virgin had to marry the man who raped her. And if he didn't want her, then he just kick her to the side.
So he didn't have to go to jail?
No, that's traditional marriage.
Let all rapists go then.
That's traditional marriage.
Because these people saying they believe in the Bible, right?
Then you had the slave owners could assign female slaves to the male slaves and make them have children. And that was traditional marriage.
They would take them.
And they would take them away. So be careful talking about you believe in traditional marriage, because you really don't know what you're talking about, because traditional marriage is something totally different than what you're saying you believe in.